In international relations, alliances often follow predictable lines: neighbors, old partners. But on November 12, 2025, a handshake in Algiers broke the mold. Somalia and Algeria, separated by the Sahara, signed a pact that could reshape Africa's future. This wasn't just another diplomatic gesture, it was a strategic pivot. Somalia, emerging from decades of conflict, seeks partners who offer support, not control. Algeria, a North African heavyweight, wants to extend its influence and build bridges across the continent. The meeting of President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud and President Abdelmadjid Tebboune marked the start of a practical, mutually beneficial relationship. This alliance challenges old ideas about African diplomacy. Cooperation isn't limited by geography. The pact connects the Horn of Africa with the Maghreb, creating a new corridor for trade and influence. For Somalia, it's a chance to diversify alliances and gain strategic depth. For Algeria, it's an opportunity to champion Pan-African solidarity and play a bigger role in East Africa. This is more than two countries. It's a new model for South-South cooperation. Imagine a Somali student earning a scholarship to Algeria, or a Somali farmer finding new markets for livestock. Algerian engineers could soon be working on energy projects along the Indian Ocean. These are the real-world impacts that make this alliance matter. It's about creating opportunities, not just politics. This partnership could turn Somalia's narrative from despair to hope. The alliance is a seed. If nurtured, it could transform both nations and inspire the continent. It's a bold statement. African nations can define their own destinies. The world is watching as Somalia and Algeria choose to build a future together. This is a story of hope, ambition, and a new African vision. The journey begins now. The Algiers Accord wasn't just talk, it was a blueprint for action. The agreement covers agriculture, livestock, education, and energy, pillars of a modern economy. Algeria brings decades of oil and gas expertise. Somalia offers untapped offshore reserves. Together, they plan to develop Somalia's resources with African know-how, keeping the benefits on the continent. This is a move toward economic self-reliance, not dependency on foreign corporations. The pact also targets agriculture and trade. Somalia's livestock industry, long in need of stable markets, now has access to North Africa. This could boost rural incomes and create jobs, while Algeria shares modern farming techniques to improve Somali food security. It's a win-win. Somalia gains markets, Algeria gains valuable commodities. The agreement also eases movement. Somali diplomats now get visas on arrival in Algeria. More importantly, Algeria is offering 500 scholarships to Somali students in fields like petroleum engineering, fisheries, and agriculture. This is an investment in Somalia's future leaders and professionals. The focus on human capital is the most forward-thinking part of the pact. It's about building skills, not just signing deals. The Algiers Accord is a serious commitment to shared progress. It's a partnership designed for real impact, not just headlines. By leveraging each other's strengths, both nations stand to gain. This is how alliances should work: practical, ambitious, and focused on people. The foundation is set. Now it's time to build. The Algiers Accord is more than a document. It's a roadmap for transformation. The future starts with these first steps. The Somalia-Algeria alliance is a calculated move in a shifting geopolitical landscape. Both nations want more control over their destinies, free from the grip of great powers and regional hegemons. For Somalia, this partnership offers a way out of dependency on Gulf states and Western aid. Algeria, with its Pan-African vision, is extending its reach into East Africa, challenging old power dynamics. This alliance signals to rivals that Algeria can build strategic partnerships far beyond its borders. The Horn of Africa, with its access to the Red Sea and Suez Canal, is a major strategic prize. The Pact is a model of authentic African partnership, built on shared interests, not outside pressure. It's about two countries taking control of their foreign policy and serving their own national interests. But this path isn't without risks. Traditional partners, Gulf states, China, the US, Europe, will watch closely, wary of losing influence. Somalia must balance new friendships with old alliances, navigating a delicate diplomatic dance. If successful, this could be a new model for smaller nations to assert themselves globally. The world is changing, and so are the rules of engagement. The Somalia-Algeria Pact is a bold step towards strategic autonomy. It's a sign that African nations are ready to set their own agendas. The stakes are high, but so is the potential. This is Africa's move. The economic logic behind the Somalia-Algeria alliance is clear, pairing need with capacity, resources with expertise. At its core, this is a development strategy designed to unlock potential in both nations. Energy, agriculture, and education form the backbone of this partnership. Somalia's offshore oil and gas reserves, long ignored due to instability, could finally be developed with Algerian expertise. Sonatrach, Algeria's state energy giant, brings the know-how and capital to make it happen. This keeps profits in Africa and ensures political sensitivities are respected. The revenues could fund schools, hospitals, and infrastructure for generations. Agriculture is just as vital. Somalia's livestock industry now has a stable, lucrative market in Algeria. This will inject cash into rural communities and improve livelihoods. In return, Algeria shares its expertise in water management and arid land farming, helping Somalia become more food secure. This is trade, not charity, recognizing Somalia's value and building mutual benefit. Education ties it all together. Algeria's 500 scholarships will train Somali engineers, agronomists, and fisheries experts. These professionals will drive Somalia's development from within. Investing in people is the surest way to build a nation. Algeria isn't just extracting resources, it's building capacity for the long term. This is a partnership for sustainable growth. The foundation is strong. Now it's time to deliver. The future depends on how well these pillars are built. The Horn-Maghreb corridor is a geopolitical game-changer. Algeria's entry into the Horn of Africa disrupts old patterns of influence, giving Somalia new leverage and independence. This shift reduces the dominance of neighbors like Ethiopia and the Gulf states, allowing Somalia to pursue its own path. Not everyone will welcome this change. Some may see it as a threat to their interests. Ethiopia, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia may be wary of Algeria's growing role. The result could be new diplomatic competition, but also a chance for constructive engagement. Algeria's reputation for quiet, effective diplomacy could help stabilize the region. By supporting Somalia, Algeria may help build a stronger, more resilient state. A stable Somalia benefits everyone. Less extremism, more trade, and greater security. The alliance also strengthens the Pan-Africanist bloc within the African Union. Together, Somalia and Algeria can push for African solutions to African problems. This partnership is a practical demonstration of AU ideals. It sets a precedent for other transcontinental alliances. The Horn-Maghreb corridor could be the first of many partnerships stitching Africa closer together. The regional impact is just beginning to unfold. The Somalia-Algeria Pact has global repercussions. Powers like the US, China, and the EU are watching closely. Somalia's coastline is vital for global trade. This alliance adds a new variable to their strategic calculations. It signals a more multipolar Africa, where African actors shape their own destinies. For the West, the alliance is both a challenge and an opportunity. Somalia and Algeria are asserting independence, which could complicate Western strategies. But a stable, self-reliant Somalia could reduce the need for foreign aid and intervention. China, too, will watch with interest. This model of intra-African cooperation offers an alternative to the Belt and Road Initiative. Chinese firms may even find opportunities in the new trade and energy projects. The real significance is symbolic. Middle powers are no longer passive. They're redrawing the maps of influence. The Somalia-Algeria Axis is a microcosm of a shifting world order. It's a move toward complexity and multipolarity. The old rules no longer apply. Global players must adapt to a new reality shaped by the global South. The world is changing, and Africa is leading the way. The true test of this alliance is its impact on ordinary people, especially the youth. Somalia's young population is its greatest asset and the most in need of opportunity. The 500 scholarships offered by Algeria are a lifeline, targeting the sectors Somalia needs most. Young Somalis will return as engineers, scientists, and managers, ready to rebuild their country. This is sustainable development, building local capacity, not just importing foreign experts. Economic opportunities from trade and energy will lift families out of poverty. More income means better food, healthcare, and education for Somali children. When youth have jobs and hope, they're less likely to be drawn into conflict. The alliance also fosters cultural exchange. Somalis and Algerians will learn from each other, breaking down old barriers. Visa facilitation is just the start. Deeper people-to-people ties will follow. These connections turn a strategic alliance into a genuine friendship. The human dividend is the richest reward of all. This is how you build a future. One student, one family, one community at a time. The alliance is about more than politics. It's about lives changed for the better. The next generation will be the true architects of this partnership. The Somalia-Algeria Pact is a moment of promise. But the real work begins now. Turning agreements into reality requires political will, careful planning, and public vigilance. Implementation is the first challenge. Projects must move from paper to practice. Both governments need clear timelines, transparency, and accountability. Civil society and the media must hold leaders to their promises. Corruption is a real risk, especially with new energy revenues. Managing resources transparently is critical. Somalia must avoid the resource curse. Algeria, as the experienced partner, has a duty to help Somalia build strong institutions. The world should support and encourage this alliance, but also ask tough questions. How will benefits be shared? How will corruption be prevented? The Somalia-Algeria Axis could be a model for Africa, if it delivers on its promise. This is a chance to show how two nations can build a better future together. Let's watch, hope, and hold them to their word. The seeds are planted, now it's time to nurture them. The journey has just begun.